Good afternoon, evening, whatever it may be, wherever you are, but welcome to What's Stitching in the Cottage and Mail Haul. So welcome. Come on into the Stitching Cottage and join me, Jean, with Captain Stitches, and behind me on the floor, whoops, while I share with you what is been going on in the Stitching Cottage this past week. I just knocked my power strip down there. Excuse me. But yeah, we are actually right now in the middle of a high wind, a thunderstorm, and heavy rain downpour. So if by any chance I lose our internet or the power or both, I apologize, but there is a good possibility that may happen. But welcome, Debbie, and welcome, Carol. It is great to see both of you. And we will get right into what I have been able to do this past week in the Stitching Cottage. Excuse me if I keep glancing out the window, but it's really storming out there right now. But you will recall, hello, Agnes, welcome to you as well. But you will recall that I showed you a few things that I was planning on working on this week, and I did get some work done on them. And that was a couple pin cushions that I showed you, which the one was this cute dog. And I want to show you because you can't see on that, but I think if I hold this up close enough, you can see that on the back of that, there is actually a part that holds scissors and thread, a seam ripper, a needle threader, that type of thing. And then on his tail, you can actually put your thimble. But I have chosen, I'm actually going to make two of them. And I have chosen these fabrics to make those out of. And I have on printable freezer paper, the pattern already printed on there. So all I have to do is cut it out, apply it to my fabric, and it will be ready to sew. So I did get that done on that one. And on the other one, pick this up without losing the fabrics first. Oops, gotta have a wider hand. But that is this pin cushion that also has the thread catcher bag, and the thread catcher bag actually has a pocket inside of it that will hold your scissors and seam ripper and that type of thing. But I chose, my hand's going to be in the way, but I chose these fabrics to make that out of, which the top ones are just charm squares. They make the petals on the pin cushion. And then I will be using these fabrics in the rest of that. So that is also on its way to being ready to get cut out and pieced together. And then in addition to that was the apron, which I have the panel all cut out, the directions right there. So it is ready just to put underneath the sewing machine and quickly piece that together. Let me see, what else did I work on? I did get some stitching done on, I am making this bag as a project bag. And instead of using the back that they suggest for the pattern on this, I am making a quandie to use for the back. So I have worked some more on that also, which you can see all the white in the middle is the part that's not done yet in the patches, while you can see the stitching going all the way around there if I turn it, but you work from the bottom to the middle in doing a quandie. But so I did get some work done on that. Not as much as I wanted to, but I did get some work done on it. See that sitting there. And then of course, in our Embroidery Slow Stitching Journal Stitch Along project, I was able to get the back and front cover of that completely done. And so it is got all of the stitching completed on it. And then I did the page that goes right on the inside of that one. So that is all done as well. And they are also attached together. So, and I will be showing you how to do that on the 11th of July in part 10 of that series. So don't worry about that. I am just getting prepared for things that are coming up. But yes, so I got that done and am starting working on the next page on that. Let me see. Is there anything else? Well, back here you will see the basket that has the fabrics that I have gathered so far for the upcoming slow stitching project that I am doing on with Roxy's Creations. It's part 8 and it's called Gatherings. But I had a lot of the fabrics that was yardage that I didn't plan on using all of the yardage. So I did get those all cut up into the fat quarters and smaller pieces and have the rest of it already put away on the shelves where it belongs and labeled. Hello, Thread My Bobbin. Welcome to you this evening. It's Jane, right? I may be wrong, but I think the name is Jane. I always have a hard time remembering that one. I'm sorry. But then also up here, I have the fabrics ready for making the jellied charm quilt for the master bedroom, and a lot of the rest left over. And I have additional fabrics coming also in the French general fabrics so that I will be able to redo the whole master bedroom using that theme. Let me see. Look behind me here because this is the area where I've been sitting and working. That's like if I come over this way, you can see that is the stitching corner over there for the ones of you that have not seen that. And this whole table here has been redone. So it has got all of the hand stitching supplies and stuff on it, baskets sitting with the projects that I am working on and all conveniently located there. So I was just looking to see if there was anything sitting there that I had forgotten about, but I do not believe so. So that means, oh, there is one other thing I was going to talk about. I am trying to use my decorative baskets and vintage baskets and things that I have to hold my projects that I'm working on. And this is an antique sewing basket, and it is full right now. Inside of this is all of the fabrics, laces, and everything that I have pulled for a journal just like this one, not using the embroidery grid, but otherwise just like it. That is going to be in a whole different style and colorway. So that is in there. I'm gonna slide that over here. And we will get to the mail haul for the week, which one of the things that I got that I love, and I need to pull the information on this because it's hard to remember the the information, but this is actually a hand woven bag from Africa, and it is called a bolga bag, and it is large, and it is holding the denim um, jacket embroidery slow stitching project that I am doing. So that is all in there now. That's what is being held. But I wanted to let you know what these bags are. And they come in different ones. This is the large size, and I could use a larger one, but it says that the Bogatanga is a large town in the northeastern region of Ghana. Just outside the town lay dozens of small villages, many of which have different languages and customs. One commonality between many of these villages is the fact that the women supplement family income by weaving baskets using locally grown straw called elephant grass. These women often work together in small co-op settings, sharing the labor involved with making the traditional bolga basket. Each basket represents many hours and sometimes several days of labor. Each artisan who weaves these baskets has many years of experience. Your purchase of a Bulgazer basket directly impacts the lives of these families and supports a tradition that has lasted generations. So that is the story behind that basket. And when they come, they are folded in an odd shape, to get to be able to ship. So you actually have to wet it down and reshape the basket after you receive it and let it dry in the sun. So that is done, and mine is all back into the shape that it is supposed to be now. But love, love that basket. And then we will hold this over here. I'm going to set this down in the chair. Oops, excuse me. And pull this over. I'm always needing more Valdani thread, and I did discover on Amazon they have some of the collections like this that are actually cheaper than the one resource that I use. Some of them aren't, some of them are. You have to check and make sure. But this is one of the colorways, and there's 12 in each of these, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, 12 of the threads, different colors in there. And this one actually came with a magnifying glass with a needle threader in it and a seam ripper. So that was kind of neat also. And then this one, which is, I was needing some lighter blues, and this one worked out perfectly for that, and also the lighter greens that are in this one. And it too came with the seam ripper, magnifying glass, and needle threader. So, those will go into a needle book someplace. And then I also got, I think this one is called, what was it called? It might be on here. Yeah, this is called The Scent of Flowers is the colorway on this one. Beautiful, rich color tones in this one. But so I got all 3 of those. Hello, Andrea from Mama J Enterprises, and Christine, welcome to you. And of course, Joe from Vintage Style by Joe is here. Welcome, welcome to you. And then Liz Warnke, I was watching her video this past week, and she had shown that she got these rulers that are the log cabin trim tool. This is the trim tool 2, which is for regular log cabins, but it's got the 12-inch and the 6-inch included in it. So I got that one. And I also got, in the one that she was showing, was the curvy log cabin trim tool that uses 2 different size strips, so they will make the rounded edge, as you can see here. But that, combined with the other ruler, will be able to use both methods of log cabins and come up with lots and lots of different opportunities and patterns for using up all those strips that I have and make some beautiful log cabin quilts. And I also got this cut loose pattern that uses those rulers, and you can get them in other sizes also. Yes, that is a great ruler. They have it in 8-inch, 6-inch. I believe they have a 10-inch, I'm not sure, and the 12-inch. But I like using either a 6-inch block or a 12-inch block. I'm not someone that likes the odd 8-inch. But so, and the 10-inch would end up making a 20-inch block. So that's a little on the large size. But that is one individual pattern I got. And then I got this book that also has several patterns in it that uses the curvy ruler, but you can see some of those on the back. But I was going to say, there was one in here that I found quite interesting. I probably won't be able to find it now, but we will look. Yeah. This is the one that I thought was quite different. And I think it's called Solomon's puzzle or something like that. But this is one that's very interesting as well. But some really nifty nifty patterns to be able to use with that. And I don't need binders. I already have plenty of binders. And I have a problem remembering what's in what binder. And things need to be reorganized and everything in all of the binders that I do have. So I got some divider tabs for my binders. And of course I have so many, so I got two of those. And then I also got a complete box of 200 in there of the sheet protectors to be able to use as well. And so that is what I got in the mail this week that is stitching quilting related. I guess it could be called stitching quilting related because I did get a new handheld vacuum to use out here in the stitching cottage to help keep things clean and tidied up. I have a small regular one, but it's hard to get in and around things. So I did get a handheld one, but I'm not gonna bother to get that out and show that to you. But that is cool. I am going to have to put that on my wish list. Yes, it is. I did not one that buys a lot of specialty rulers anymore, but that one did intrigue me and I thought could really come in quite handy and be make good use of. So hello, Joyce. It's great to see you as well this evening. Welcome. And I know there was a couple other things that I wanted to go over. Let me see what it was. I've got a couple notes on the side written down so I wouldn't forget. And of course, I'm too far away. I can't read them. So there is, yes, I do want to bring up again because I have gotten requests for membership for my Facebook group, my private Facebook group kept in Stitches and Friends, and they did not answer the membership questions. And I have said in my videos that you need to answer those membership questions or your request will be denied. I do send that with an explanation of why it was denied so you can reapply and answer those questions. And then you will be, of course, if everything's copacetic, you will be approved to join the group. But you do have to answer those. And there were 3 today that requested to join and none of them answered the question. So I just wanted to bring that up and make sure that you are all aware of that. So if you mention it to anybody and invite them to join, make sure that they know that they do need to answer those questions. And let me see. Oh, the other is, yes, our Zoom stitch days, which we have a wonderful time in. It is something that I actually brought up that, sometimes things in my mind come out my mouth before I think about whether I want to say it or not. But I did bring up the fact that I was thinking that I needed to go on a no purchase challenge. I didn't say length of time or anything, but in doing that, of course, there was an individual that suggested, they kind of laughed and suggested, yeah, that would be a good thing. So there were 3 of us, I do believe, yeah, 3, 1, 2, 3 or 4. Well, there's myself, Carol, Debbie, and Agnes. Yeah, there are 4 of us that did agree to go on a no purchase of anything quilting, stitching, sewing related for the month of July. So I am sorry to say that this will be the last mail haul for at least a month because I will not be making any more purchases. Now, I will say next week there probably will be because I do have some things that were already ordered that I know an order from Rita's Quilted Chicken Farm that is supposed to be here on Monday. Thinking that's the only one. But then I also have, of course, some subscriptions that I belong to, and I'm not canceling those. So if those come in during that time, I will have that. But that keeps the trolls out. Oh, yeah. I don't call them trolls in Facebook. I call them trolls on YouTube, but not the Facebook. It's just yeah, information that I myself need and that type of thing for the Facebook group. But and Agnes says, yeah, I did my last purchase today. LOL. You know, I have to say, I did have a few things that I went today and put in shopping cart on Amazon. And then I got to thinking about it and I thought, okay, am I just doing this because I know I'm not going to be able to purchase? Do I really, really, really need these items? So I went in and I deleted them all. So I was good. I didn't even purchase anything knowing that that's coming up. And Andrea's birthday is August. So I'm loading my Amazon wish list. My kids and grandkids shop from it. That's nice. That's very nice. But so anyway, just so you are aware, you won't be finding anything in my mail haul bucket here. So except for that, the one order I know that I still have coming in. Hello, Eva. It is great to see you. How you doing? Well, that probably brings up the next thing that's on my list that I want to touch on just a little bit. Oh, there's nothing ever on Prime days that interests me anyway, Andrea. So I'm not going to miss out on that. No problem there. I'm one of those that when there's something I want, I just get it. I don't worry about that type of stuff. So, and usually anytime that it's been Amazon Prime days, there's never been anything on their specials that, sometimes they call it a special when it's, $3, $5 difference in price. Well, I don't call that a good deal. So, but anyway, so no problem there. But yeah, that is coming up, I believe, July 8th through the 11th or 10th or something like that. But yeah, but no, not concerned with that. But what I did want to bring up is I am trying very hard to keep on the schedule that I have for YouTube. And I know there are many of you know already that, for a period of time already that there are health issues with my husband and also ones with myself. Well, this past month, those health issues with my husband have become significantly worse. And so being able to keep on the schedule that I have may not always happen. I'm doing my best to keep on that schedule, but I just want you to be aware that if for some reason you don't see me on one of the days that you are used to seeing me, or for a while and wonder, oh, what happened to Captain Stitches and Jean? I'm here. It just means that there's been some things that have come up that need to be dealt with during that time. So, but I still, like I said, am trying very hard to still be out here and do what I can to be on. So, and speaking of that, if everything goes well, for those of you that are doing the Embroidery Slow Stitch Journal Stitch Along, Tuesday will be part 9, and that will be teaching the last 3 embroidery stitches out of the 28 that were taught in total. And so that will be on my regular Tuesday, the regular Tuesday afternoon at 4 o'clock. One where I teach the stitches for that. So all goes well, I will be there then. If not, it will be rescheduled. It will come up, but I won't know exactly when. And I do have on the schedule, like I said earlier, July 11th, which I believe is also a Tuesday. So it will be at the 4 p.m. time as well. Will be a video on how you put your pages together and then put your book together as well. So you won't want to miss that one. Of course, there's always the replay, but yeah, we will be going through that. So, and I may do that live. So if there's questions while I'm doing it, I'll be able to answer those right away. We'll see how things work out. It works pretty well either way, the premiere or the live. So, but that is what is coming up. And I have shared everything that is going on. Of course, the organization and decluttering is always going on. That's still taking a while. So yeah, and little setbacks in that as well. But oh, and the other thing, some of you also know that, but he's being good and laying down here and he's kind of half asleep, but when I moved my foot, it kind of woke him up. But Whip did have an accident. He's, quite the rambunctious little fellow, and he was running in the back door, and he kind of slid on the floor wrong, and he injured his knee, the right knee on his rear leg. And so right now he's on pain medication, and we have to keep him inactive, calm, and still. Hard to do, but not too bad because he is in pain. He's limping. He holds it up. He doesn't walk on it. So, but reorganizing is therapeutic. Yes, it is. Very much so. But he has to return to our vet in 2 weeks, and we will be seeing our vet and the knee specialist that they have right there with them in 2 weeks and see just how bad it is and what needs to be done. So poor little Whip. It's like, those things just happen, but they make us feel so bad. But anyway, so add him to your prayers as well as Bob and myself. So thank you all. I hope that in some way you have found some inspiration in what's been going on in the Stitching Cottage that I share with you. And just like I get inspired from seeing the things that you do, hopefully I can add to your whips. I know I already do, some of you, and for those of you that are in the private Facebook group and aren't attending the Zoom Stitch Days, they are a lot of fun. So I encourage you to come and check them out. But Jessie did the same thing. No, and yeah, now a thing just pops up. I think it'll go away on its own right in front of there it went. Okay, in front of where my chat is. But so take care, everyone. Stay safe if you're in an area, as it just thunders and lightnings outside my window. If you are in the storm area, please stay safe, stay cool, all of you that are still in the heat wave that has been going on across the country. And yeah, just have a great time. And remember, in the meantime, I can keep you in stitches. Bye-bye, everyone.